Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight with the Black Squared Cessna Grand Caravan Professional in Flight Simulator 2024. Today we are going to fly from Vancouver International Airport to Bellacula, which is going to be a 2-hour ride up north along the Canadian Rocky Mountains. Now, we do have an IFR flight plan for this one, but we will aim to fly as much of it as possible VFR in order to be able to shorten the trip a little bit. As you'll quickly see when we have a look into the plan in a few moments, that there are some pretty high minimum altitudes flying along the Canadian Rocky Mountains there. So I'd say we are just quickly going to take a seat in our Cessna and have a look into the flight plan before we are going to set our airplane up and prepare for the arrival of our passengers. But let's go ahead and start with the look into the flight plan. So for this, as always, we will be using our SimBrief plan. Well, and here it is. So, as you can see, that is the IFR version of the route. We are leaving Vancouver and then heading along the Canadian west coast over here until entering the fjords and then heading down into Bellacula. The significant weather chart is pretty clear for this flight. There's actually, well, pretty much nothing on it, even though for some reason SimBrief has given us a high level chart from level 250, so we wouldn't find anything on there anyway. In any case, let's go ahead and have a very quick look. We're scheduled to depart at 17:45, arriving 2 hours later in Bellacula. Flight level 100 is our planned cruising level, and that is also the reason why we got this very interesting route. Now let's go ahead and have a look at that down in the Navigraph app, because this is really where it gets quite a bit more interesting. We're going to take the VFR charts over here, and this shows you immediately where the problem is with the IFR flight. You can see we got minimum safe altitudes here, 11.3, 11.3, 12.8 and up to 12.5. If we go VFR, then we can cut a lot of this stuff over here short by simply flying up the coast and on the base of the Rocky Mountains over here with much lower minimum altitudes. And then we can enter the fjord to Bellacula over here early and then hopefully make our way in all the way. So that's kind of the plan. Now, if at some point the weather deteriorates to a point where we need an IFR pickup, then we can always get that along our flight. But for the time being, that's our plan. Now, for departure in Vancouver, we're standing right down here at the southern position. South terminal, then taxi out somewhere over here. Runway 26 left is probably going to be our departure runway, and we'll see the rest as we come along. Now, let's go ahead and just head outside again and grab the chocks. We are going to grab the pitot covers and the engine covers, and the other side of our caravan is clear. Then we can go ahead and start with a little walk around. So let's have a look at the leading edges of the propeller here. That propeller has definitely seen better days, but then again it doesn't look too shabby, and our airplane itself is in a good condition down here. Alright, so moving along then, we got the leading edge. We might need those de-icing boots. If we have to go IFR, then we might encounter some icing conditions, which could be the case when we're getting into the area of Bellacula. The weather over there is, yeah, a little bit cloudy and 6,000 in the fjord, so I'm kind of hoping that we'll be able just to sneak beneath at VFR through the fjords, but we will have to see about it. I don't want to make any false promises here. Okay, so our caravan looks fantastic. Then I'd say by now our passengers should be arriving. So we can open up the cargo pods down here in order to load all of their luggage. And then we will be heading over to the other side, because interestingly enough, the passenger door on the caravan is on the right-hand side. But here it is. Alright, and here we go. Well then, let's quickly head inside and go ahead with our loading. Now, very quick look into the flight plan once more to see what kind of fuel we are going to need, as this is a little bit of a longer flight there. And you can see we need 1,500 pounds of fuel for this one. So probably going to load a little bit more because I don't want to get there on the last couple of fumes. So they say 1,500 pounds, so that means something like 1750. Let's make that 945 just to be safe here. And then we can have a look into our weight. So the passengers are on. Then let's also stuff a bit of cargo into the pods. And here we go. So, pretty much on an aft CG. And yeah, that's all taxi fuel down there. Maximum gross weight. No, let's do this right. Alright, the remaining 3 pounds are taxi fuel. So that's fine. We are right up here at the maximum. Okay, great. So then we can put that stuff away. And then let's go ahead and close it up, with our passengers now on board. Did I ever mention that I love the type of storytelling you can do with those VFR aircraft, or rather with those short aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator? It's just a different level from what it used to be in the past. Microsoft has really done such a great job here. Now, over here we could punch in a little bit more baggage into the back of the plane over here, but we'll just assume that that is already done. So let's go ahead and close that stuff up like this, and then we can also close you, you, and you. Alright, and here we go. So follow me upstairs, then let's get those steps up and close that door. Like this. Gotta love the silence. Let me open that window just because, well, temperatures and stuff. Okay, excellent. So we are pretty much set up with everything. So let's go ahead and get our airplane started over here. Before starting engine checklist. That's pre-flight inspection complete. Passenger cabin door is unlocked. Cabin doors latched. Park and brake, that's down here, is set. Okay, control log removed. Seats and seat belts are fastened. Let's also get those, here we go. Let's get those armrests down. So, seats and seat belts are fastened. Switches are all off. The ignition switch is in normal. Circuit breakers are all in. Fuel selectors both on, oxygen off, oxygen pressure is more than 1850, perfect. Okay, ventilation and AC is off, bleed air heat is off, cabin mixing air is flight pushed, emergency power lever normal, thrust lever idle, propeller lever full forward, condition lever cut off, fuel cut off in, firewall valve is pushed in. Then battery switch on, annunciators tested, fire detection system tested, flap lever up, no smoking and seatbelt signs on. Before starting engine checklist complete. Okay, so as we are departing VFR, we do not need a startup clearance over here in Canada. Do correct me if I'm wrong, I couldn't find any proper information on the internet, so I'm going to take it the same way that I would expect it normally. Okay, so engine start checklist. Beacon light switch on, avionic 1 switch on, bus voltage 24 volts minimum. So emergency power annunciator is extinguished, propeller area is clear, then fuel boost pump on, fuel flow 0, and fuel pressure low annunciator is extinguished. Alright, then we're ready to start, so let's go. Starter switch, start. And that's a minimum of 12% NG. Fuel on. And a little warm, but well within the start limit. Looking fantastic. Okay, that's 52%. Starter switch off. Starter engaged, annunciator off. Engine instruments are checked. Generator switch Reset then on. Generator load is positive. Battery charging current negative. Generator off annunciator extinguished, and fuel boost pump normal. Alright, let's close that thing down. That's nicer, isn't it? Okay, so fuel boost pump annunciator is extinguished, weather radar is on off, then avionics 2 switch on, nav lights. Wait a second, which one are the nav lights? This one. Okay, nav lights are on. Suction is checked, remote compass is slaved and aligned, ventilation and defroster as required, radios coming now, and that's the engine start checklist complete. Okay, so transponder on standby, then we can take Squawk VFR 1200 over here. Now, let's go ahead and import our flight plan real quick. I do want to enter it, just in case we need it. And then we also need a couple of frequencies, which we are going to get in a few moments. Okay, so let's start down here. We are going from Charlie Yankee Victor Romeo. Which is Vancouver International Airport. Then, where's our routing? Here it is, direct to ITMAF. Then we continue direct Uniform Quebec, Quebec. Comox BOR, direct Yankee Zulu Tango. Port Hardy in Canada, please. And then we continue via Yankee Juliet, Quebec. Bella, and then finally towards Charlie Yankee Bravo Delta. Alright, Bellacula, there it is. Perfect, so that's a routing entered. Now let's go ahead and open up the nav map up here, flight plan down there. Then we got that stuff. Now finally we do need the Navigraph charts, because those have the frequencies on them. So unload this please, and that looks about like it. Let's import that thing. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so Vancouver ground south 121.7. Oh, that was a bit fast. Here we go, 121.7, and tower south 18.7. Like this. Then we do not need any VORs for this one. We do need 1 to 1.5. And finally ATIS 124.6. So let's quickly listen to that.
Tomorrow 0 feet. Advise on course heading, altitude, and in-flight following is requested. Read VFR runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo. Vancouver International Airport.
WestJet 705, taxi to parking via Mike 4, Victor Hotel Lima.
Arriving runways 26 right, 31. Departing runways 26 left, 31. Wind 29 or 0 at 15. Visibility 10. Broken at 24,000. Temperature 12, dew point 11. Altimeter 29 or 9 or 1. Density altitude minus 300 feet. Advise on course heading, altitude, and flight.
Alright, so that's our ATIS on board. And that was information. Alright, information Kilo is on board. Then let's also go ahead and quickly test that weather radar. That's looking fantastic, and you can give me something like up to. That's good. Okay, weather radar back to standby, and that looks fantastic. Then let's go ahead and call ground. Vancouver ground, Charlie Echo Lima, Foxtrot Hotel.
Charlie Echo Line, Foxtrot Hotel, Vancouver ground. Not clear what you said. Say again.
Charlie Echo Lima, Foxtrot Hotel, Cessna Grand Caravan, VFR to Bellacula, request taxi.
Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot, Charlie Delta 5 Delta.
Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, taxi to runway 26 left via Charlie, correction via Foxtrot, Charlie Delta 5 and Delta. Alright, so that's gonna be out over here, then on a Foxtrot. So, Foxtrot, Charlie, and Delta 5 Delta, okay. Well, that's not quite correct. It should be Foxtrot Charlie Alpha 5. Oh, we're gonna call him for that when we get closer. Okay. So, taxi light on, taxi checklist please. The flight instruments set and check, cabin lights dimmed, cockpit lighting dimmed, taxi light on, inertial separator not required, and then we can release our parking brake and go. So, the left side's clear. The right side, no comment. Welcome to Flight Simulator. Squawk machine on. Alright. So, leaving the apron over here, and then we will be turning off to the right on a Foxtrot.
WestJet 705, give way to the Jazz CRJ9 on your left.
Okay, the right side is clear.
CRJ9, WestJet 705. WestJet 705, give way to the Encore ahead.
So, a little bit further straight ahead, and then somewhere next to the hangars over there should be Charlie. The larger taxiway that we're going to find on the left-hand side. That looks funny. Okay, so Charlie is up on the left. I'll tell you what, we'll hold shot at 26 left over here, and I'm totally happy to depart from here. Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, can we hold shot runway 26 left in Charlie? I suppose no answer is also an answer, so I'm just gonna do it anyway. So, before takeoff, run-up checklist. Parking brake set, seats and seatbelts are secured, flight controls... Oh god, what are they doing? Well, that's interesting. First. Something messing around with my flight controls. I have a feeling I know what it is. Okay, I had two joysticks connected, both the Yoke and the Airbus stick. And look at that, suddenly it's working just fine. Okay, so flight controls are free and correct. Standby alternator is on. And generator load switch is on 0. So, generator load to at least 30 amps. We are going to do that quite easily by combining that with the de-icing and anti-icing system checks. Here we go, and then generator trip. Okay, and the alternator has taken over, generator reset, and the generator is taking over again. And all of these are looking good down here. Alright, so that stuff is done. Then we can go over to the fuel system. So fuel boost pump is on normal, fuel selectors are both on, the fuel quantity is checked and full. Fuel cutoff is pushed in, trims all three set for takeoff. Flaps to 10 degrees. And here we are. So, power lever 400 foot-pounds.
Air Canada 1300, runway 26 left taxi via Echo Delta Delta 9er.
Here we go, that's 400 foot-pounds. The suction is checked, the bus voltage is at least 24 volts. Then inertial separator is coming on, and we observe slight rise in ITT, drop in the torque, and inertial separator is going back offline. Okay, so then power lever 1800 RPMs. Here we go, there's 1800. So, overspeed governor tested and checked. Then we can return the power lever to idle. Okay, we've already tested the anti-icing system. Then let's go ahead and test the boots as well. And yeah, operating. And the other side also operating. Fantastic. Alright, then we are going to test the autopilot. So, heading 30 degrees left, autopilot on, yoke follows, 30 degrees right, yoke follows, disconnect button, works. Okay, heading buck is set, and then we got a battery charging current. No. Here we go, of less than 10 amps, weather radar, definitely coming on for a flight like this, strobe lights, later, annunciators tested and considered, flight instruments are checked and looking good. Okay, cabin mixing air, flight push, fuel condition lever into high idle, parking brake release, and that's the before takeoff checklist complete. Charlie Foxtrot Hotel is ready for departure.
Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, you are on ground frequency. Contact Vancouver Tower on 125.65 for departure clearance.
125.65, Charlie Foxtrot Hotel. Vancouver Tower, Charlie Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, ready for departure, VFR to the west.
Charlie Echo Lime Foxtrot Hotel, Vancouver Tower, runway 26 left, winds 290 at 15, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 left, clear for takeoff, Charlie Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel. Alright, squawk machine is going on. Landing lights on, strobe lights on, and parking brake off. Okay. So, VFR straight out, and for the takeoff briefing, it's a left seat takeoff, runway 26 left, flaps 10, noise abatement is not applicable. VFR departure straight ahead, rotate at 70, climb at about 90, and then flap retraction, all the standard stuff. Okay, in case of an engine failure immediately after liftoff, we can land straight ahead. We have some 3 kilometers of runway available over here, and yeah, thereafter we are up into the water, provided that we cannot do an immediate return, which we are only going to do above an altitude of at least 1,000 feet. Any questions? No? Alright. So, timer. Come on. Timer and takeoff. Power set. 70 knots, rotate. Positive climb. And seeing that the only way to get the gear up is to put the roof of the airplane down, we are not going to do that. Okay, climbing nicely. Very good. Oh, please do keep the climb. Charlie Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, request climb altitude to altitude 6,000 feet.
Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, climb requested altitude.
Request climb altitude 6,000, Charlie Foxtrot Hotel.
Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, climb 6,000.
Climb at 6,000, Charlie Foxtrot Hotel. Alright, that's that. And then we'll nicely climb out along the bay. It's been a while since we departed such a large airport, hasn't it? At least with such a small airplane. Okay, flaps are up. And here we go, right in trim, looking good. I'm probably going to get a departure frequency from him some moment. Okay, so en route climb checklists. Pitot heat
Air Canada 189
for the time being off.
Runway 26 right, cleared to land.
Ice protection is off. Propeller is at 1900 RPM for the time being. Power lever 1865. IGT less than 740. And air conditioning as required. We can go ahead and start turning that thing on. Down there. And that's it. So let's go ahead and put that autopilot on. Heading hold, vertical speed, give me 700 feet a minute. Gonna keep it nice on the ears. And with that we are up and on our way. Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, request heading 290. That's to leave the control zone here, since we're still within controlled airspace.
Charlie Foxtrot Hotel, heading 290 approved.
Heading 290 approved, Charlie Foxtrot Hotel. Alrighty. So, nicely up and on the way. Then, for as long as we're inside the controls, I'm going to leave all those lights and everything on. Passengers going to stay within their seatbelts anyway. And, well, here we go. We can already see the Canadian Rockies, which we're going to follow all the way up north to Bellacula. Hoping that the weather is going to stay as good as it is over here, but over there you can already see the clouds kind of touching the tops of the mountains, so I'm kind of hoping that we will be able to just get the plane up and hopefully stay clear in 6,000. Then again, I don't want to be flying too low, because in case of an engine failure or something, we only have a single one available. And I definitely don't want to be that guy ending up in the water, especially not 2 or 3 minutes after the engine failure. That's also a reason to take up a little bit of altitude. And that's of course not even to talk about any of the birds and everything we might find over here, which could of course also become relevant. Alright, well then. I guess for the time being, we're just gonna head straight out from Vancouver. Then let's get up that en route map, please. Just check around the airport. So we got Class Charlie, 2,500 feet to above, and that's Yeah, until just shy of ITMAF. After ITMAF, what is that thing here? Plus Echo airspace all the way. Alright, so gonna be a little while until we reach that. So I'd say for the time being, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the trip. Actually, I'm not going to do anything else over here, so I'd say see you all a little bit later. And as always, I'll get back to you if anything interesting happens. Now those were some pretty amazing views on the way, weren't they? We are approaching Bellacula right now, and I want to take you on a little bit of a briefing of the airport before we are going to start the actual approach. But just look at the fantastic terrain over here. So a little bit snowy over here, and the fjords are just looking fantastic, aren't they? I mean, look at this. Flight Sim 2024 really looks good, doesn't it? Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look into the approach that we are about to fly, and just open up our charts over here. We do not have any actual airport charts for our destination. All we got is, let me find it down here. All we got is this. So let's start that left-hand turn here, following the fjords. So all we got is basically this. The weather is currently variable 2 knots, visibility 15 miles, fuel 1600, overcast 7400, 12 degrees, 2999er. So let's make sure that that QNH is set. Here we go, 2999er set once and twice. And you down here will get that as well. Okay, great. So yeah, in the absence of any actual information about our airfield, we are simply going to assume a standard traffic pattern here. Looking that there's a road on that side, nothing on that side, we'll probably be flying a right-hand pattern if we have to. And something that I do want to do is to actually fly into the right-hand downwind. I don't want to make a straight-in approach, just for the simple fact that we don't have any... proper airport charts or anything, so I want to have a look at the runway and then see what it's all about before commencing the actual approach. Okay, once we are clear of the cumulus cornitus on the right hand side here, we should be in comm range, see if there is anyone around. The field elevation is 117 feet, so we're going down to 1,200 feet here, so that we got a nice 1,000 feet pattern altitude, which is pretty much standard altitude for an approach like this. Okay, now let's go into the descent checklist. Pitot heat on if temperature is less than 4 degrees. I tell you what, I am gonna turn it on right now. So pitot heat on, stall heat on. Okay, ice protection set, snow smoking and seatbelt signs are on, propeller lever is set, and torque down to 1800, and that's it. Okay, that's the descent checklist complete. Before landing checklist, seats and seatbelt secured, fuel selectors are both on. Okay, oxygen is off, landing lights are on, inertial separator, yep, we will be using it. So inertial separator is on, prop lever, full forward. Okay, flaps as required, autopilot disconnect, and that's the before landing checklist complete. Okay then, our fuel should be coming up somewhere over there. Bellacula traffic, Charlie Echo Lima Foxtrot Hotel, Cessna 208 from Vancouver is 2 minutes to the east for a right-hand traffic, runway 23. Okay, so number one, we actually got to find the field, and once we got it, we are going to get into that traffic pattern. In the meantime, that's fantastic, isn't it? Just fantastic. Graphics over here, man. Okay, so autopilot off. Then we can start slowing her down a little bit. Field is 5 miles away now, so probably behind here. I think I see it. Yeah, that's it. So we could potentially even fly straight in approach, but let's do the traffic pattern now that we've already announced it. Alright, for the landing, fuel pump is going back in a norm. And yeah, not going to do right traffic, we'll do a left pattern. Okay, speed is good, everything is good. We'll just enter the standard traffic pattern here and then land out of that. So it looks like we'll have to take it pretty far to the right into the valley. Wind is calm, so I'm not expecting any turbulence associated with that, contrary to some of the turbulence that we'd faced while we've been crossing some of the ridges on the way to get here. Hour and 43 flight time. Man, that's been quite a long flight. It didn't feel that long. But with the beautiful views outside, no surprises there. Alright, flaps turn. So that's our runway. Okay, getting into a nice downwind over here. Bellacula traffic, Charlie Echo, Lima Foxtrot Hotel, Cessna 208 on left downwind, runway 23. Okay, we're 1,000 above the ground. That means we need about half a minute before we are going to turn base. Okay, there's our field. So let's see, lights are on, fuel pumps on, and that's it. Okay, half a minute, so we're looking at 25 seconds. And tell you what, since we've already descended a bit, flaps 25, let's turn base. Bellacula, Cessna, Charlie Echo Lima, Fox Hotel, turning final, runway 23. Right, flaps full. Look at the buildings down here on the fields. That looks quite fantastic, doesn't it? Alright. So, let's not disappoint our passengers. On the other hand side, it looks like it's a little snowy down on the runway, so might just have to rely mostly on the reverser to brake. I'm mentally prepared for that. Okay, well, a smooth one, I like that. So let's go as slow as somewhat possible for the 180. Don't want to go skidding here. Okay. Perfect. Well, that was a nice landing. Now let's do the after landing checklist. Flaps up, pitot heat off, ice protection off, strobe lights off, landing lights off, taxi record light on, condition lever low idle, and weather radar off. Inertial separator stays on. And that's the after landing checklist complete. Okay, 1 hour 47. That was a fantastic flight. Really scenic. Fantastic airports as well. Vancouver by FSIM Studios, Bellacula by Orbex. And then I'd say we bring our guests right to the terminal building. Something like this. Okay, park and brake set, shutdown and securing checklist. Park and brake set, avionics off, standby alternator off, fuel boost pump off, heat and air conditioning are all off, power lever idle for a minute, prop lever feather. Okay, condition lever cut off, exterior lights off, and fasten seatbelts off. Alright, just waiting for our propeller to stop. There's always the risk that we are carrying American citizens, and those are utterly expensive if they get harmed. Okay, here we are, looking good. So, exterior lights off, battery off, fuel selectors off, oxygen off, inertial separator off, and that's the shutdown and securing checklist complete. Well then. Let's open this up, let's open this up, and here we are. So, Chuck's gonna put those into place here, better safe than sorry. Then you can have your stuff, your stuff, your stuff. Can also get the cargo out from here, and then let's go ahead and open up the passenger door. I don't want anyone to fall outside there. As mentioned, Americans are expensive. And here we are. Well, my friends, welcome to Bellacula. I do hope you enjoyed this flight. Leave your feedback if you do like to see flights like these from time to time on the channel. I'm really interested in your feedback on this one, and well, as always, if you want more or if you want different type of contents, then do put it into the comments below. Like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all again on the next one.